cold, soulless, lifeless. These are not words that anybody wants to associate with their home, right? We want it to feel cozy. What happens though if you love modern design? You love clean lines, you might like a little bit of simplicity. How do you get the cozy vibe into your modern home? Today, I'm gonna be sharing 10 of my top tips that I use when I'm designing modern homes, how I help them to also feel cozy. These are super easy tips, they're really affordable, and they're things that you can do today in your home to instantaneously add cozy factor into your space. So make sure you are a subscriber so you don't miss out on the upcoming videos. Also make sure you check out our playlist. We actually have, I don't even know how many playlists, there's quite a few. We have hundreds and hundreds of videos sharing with you our passion for creating a home and all the little things that you need to know in order to create your perfect dream home. But without further ado, let's jump straight into how to create a cozy home, even if you're working on a budget. Let's start off with the number one thing, no matter what style home you have, no matter where you live on this planet, this is the one thing, if you do not have this nailed down, your house is always gonna feel less cozy and less inviting, and that is lighting. Lighting is so important to your space. It really creates ambiance. And a lot of times people just don't add, they don't add it at all, or they don't add enough. You almost can't overlight your room. I mean, at some point, there's gonna be too many light bulbs in this space. But let's just be honest, you're probably not there. Lighting is so important, and choosing the right lighting is also really important. It's not just any lights. You just go buy whatever lamp they're selling at, up the street or whatever. No, you gotta buy the right lights. I, of course, love beautiful sculptural lamps because I think they just add something really interesting to a space, which also adds into that cozy factor. If everything is very uniform and rigid, which a lot of times when we're working with modern homes, right, we're going for very clean lines, we're making everything really simple and uncomplicated. You need something that just makes a space feel a little bit broken up and kind of captures your attention. That's why I like sculptural lamps. So I always leave the links for this one down below. But I was also shopping at Pottery Barn lately, and they have got so many beautiful lamps. I absolutely love the Ferris ceramic table lamp. That one's got such beautiful texture to it. I love that jar shape and how warm the entire lamp itself really feels. Plymouth ceramic table lamp is gonna give you a similar effect. It's still modern, it's still classic and timeless, and yet it's got the texture and the warmth that we're really after. The Cook terracotta column lamp is gonna do the same thing. The Easton forged iron table lamp, that's gonna go for that sculptural feel. And so you wanna kind of balance, right? Texture and interest. You can add all of that very easily in through a great table lamp. I mean, this is an easy one, right? Add to cart, arrives, plug it in, boom. Also consider some wall sconces. Those are a great way to get lighting up on the wall, and also chandeliers, beautiful statement pieces with lots of lights. Don't go for like a single pendant, right? Go for something really big. Try to add as much lighting in as you can. If you've got a little bit more of a budget, you may want to think about some recessed lighting as well, but either way, lighting is key to adding cozy factor. Let's also talk about another mistake that a lot of people make. I mean, a lot of people make. Okay, and it's a really easy fix, but a lot of times people buy the wrong light bulbs. I personally like when they're like 3,200, 3,500. See anything that says it's daylight, don't believe it. They cannot replicate daylight. And honestly, even during daylight, we're actually trying to warm up the daylight. Daylight can be quite cold, and so we're always trying to add a cozy factor on top of daylight so that it won't feel cold, right? So why would you want to make your light bulb cold feeling, right? We want to warm it up. Blue hues just tend to make a space feel very cold, whereas the yellow hues, they make it feel very warm. It's like a fire. Have you ever, fire's not blue for a reason. You know what I mean? There's something very warm and inviting about a fire, and that's why we want to replicate the look of the sun and fire in our space and really warm it up. Speaking of fire, that is another element that a lot of times people just skip in a room. And it can be a bit of a challenge when you don't have a big budget. I would love to have a fireplace in every single room of my house. I would happily put one into every single room because fire, it is so cozy. It's so inviting. It's so beautiful. So if you can't install a fireplace, well, some other options would be to go for some beautiful candles. You can see the candlelight going up here right now. Fire is something that we as human beings it makes us feel warm fundamentally, right? And therefore we associate that with cozy factor. So whether you want to do a candelabra, I love the hurricanes because you can put a nice big pillar in them and they can burn for hours, right? And you're not having to worry about how expensive they are. It's really inexpensive. That's why I have these out for every single season. It doesn't have to be fall and winter to bring in cozy factor. You want cozy factor year round. So I like those glass hurricanes because in the summer, I might put some seashells in there or I've done moss in them. And then of course, during fall, winter, maybe some pine cones, some wood, all different elements that you can add into them, or you can also just leave them empty and that's okay too. Fragrance candles, that's another thing that I think really transform a space. I think fragrance immediately adds cozy factor. Fragrance can be such a deterrent. If you walk into a room and it smells like stale pizza or like old bacon, I mean, just like, it does not feel cozy. It does not feel cozy at all, right? It just feels, it feels creepy, right? Or if it has bathroom smells, just no, please. You do not want your house to smell like this. This is the opposite of being inviting. It makes you want to turn around and run away, right? So a lot of people will buy like the little Glade plugins. Unless they've changed those, they have a very synthetic smell to them that I think is a huge deterrent as well. So instead, think about buying some fragrance candles. I love the La Jolie Muse candles off of Amazon. They're really affordable. Of course, I love if you have a lot of budget to splash out. I love the Wood Fire by Illume. That one is amazing. You're adding 2 elements in at once. In fact, you're actually adding in nature as well, which also makes the space feel really cozy, right? So fire, wood, and the fragrance of it all, it just adds immediate cozy factor to your space. Let's talk about a really easy one, and that is blankets. If you want your space to feel cozy, but you don't have very many blankets or even any blankets, there's something about it. It just makes the space feel really cold. It just makes it feel uninviting. I try so hard to go for these like modern styles. I see them like on Pinterest and stuff, and I'm like, I'm a modern girl. I'm gonna do this modern style. I'm gonna be minimalistic and have no blankets. And I'm like, it just feels sad and lonely without them. I'm like, it just needs a blanket. It just needs a blanket. I need the blanket there. So whether you want to, like I've done here, toss it back over the arm, if you want to kind of throw it down in a big bunch, or if you want to neatly put it over the arm, however you want to do it, you really need a blanket. Did I not just add instantaneous cozy factor right up here, right? You see how it goes? You're like, oh, that's cozy, right? Blankets are really important. So think about fur, think about some cashmere and some wool. Those are materials that will also really last you a long time and they're not itchy. But ultimately, when it comes down to cozy factor, I always go for these fur blankets. I think I have one in every single room, including the dining room. Like, I have them everywhere. Pottery Barn, still to me, oh my gosh, their mink blanket is the #1 bestseller for a reason. It is just the absolute best. I will tell you this, I am 100% guilty of not using the next one. This is one that I've struggled with for a really long time. And that is wood. And you really need some wood in a space to make it feel really warm and inviting. So right now I've added in a little bit of wood. I'm gonna say pine cones is a way to add that in. You can add them into bowls, you can add them into your hurricane. I've got the birch logs just sitting in a beautiful modern, right, fireplace, firewood holder, right? I love to put wood also inside of a basket. I mean, baskets technically are those wood as well, right? If they're rattan. Either way, right, you're getting all these textures that have that woodsy feeling to them. Also thinking about adding some trees in that have a wood, right? The wood, I was gonna say stalk. Like, stem, stalk, trunk, you know what I mean. It's wood, right? You can also add that in through wood bowls. Adding a wood element doesn't mean that you necessarily have to have a wood table. I have tried a wood table in here and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And you guys went nuts over that. You really loved that too. So that's an option, is to add a great coffee table to the center of the room. You could also add a beautiful wood element in the dining room with that gorgeous wood table, a sideboard, bookshelves. Go for big furniture pieces like this, but don't forget, an easy way to add wood in is just to add in a wood bowl, or I love the little leeks. That's one of my favorite things to buy. You can buy them from places like Pottery Barn and they've got a lot of options. It just warms up the space. Something about nature has a really calming effect on us, and I think that's why fire and wood, it calms us. Whoa, a big one and such an easy fix. But no rug. I cannot tell you how many times I go into a client's home or a potential client's home who's invited me over to come see the space, and they're like, we don't know what to do. There's something about a rug that really makes a space feel so cozy. Without it, it's like a barren sea. no end in sight. It's like, oh, like, nobody wants to be in the middle of the ocean with no land around them. That's terrifying, at least to me. That sounds very scary. So that's kind of how your room can feel. It's just like nothing's pulling everything together and things are just sort of floating out in an abyss. There's nothing that pulls them together and there's no warmth at the center of the room. So a lot of people are taking their wall-to-wall carpet out of their house. I sure did. Added in a wood floor, which instantaneously warmed up my space, right? That's a big ticket item, you know? It can be 10 grand when you're trying to put in real wood floors, especially if you do a reclaimed French oak. I know, when I put it in, I was like, I'm gonna do this once and done, so I'm gonna do what I want. But I do think that, yes, of course, wood floors do make a big difference, but they can also be just a little cold if it's just a sea of wood floor, right? So adding in a rug adds back in that plush, cozy factor. Some curtains. I love some beautiful velvet curtains, especially if you go for some warmer tones. We've been doing a lot of tone on tone lately, really just having that enveloping feel. So you can go for some linens during the summer, but think about velvets for fall and winter. And I totally change out my curtains for the seasons. I love changing out those curtains for the season. I'm actually guilty of having left the velvet ones up even during summer because I think they're so cozy. I just couldn't bring myself to take them down. I was like, I just love the way that they feel. But even if you do a sheer, even if you do, right, like a curtain period is gonna make the space feel a lot cozier. But I think if you wanna really take it far, definitely go for the velvet. Let's talk about texture, because texture is so important to a space. Basically, the way anything feels is the texture, right? It's how something feels. And it's also how the eye perceives it. So if you have a room that's really modern, you have a really modern kitchen, it's all clean lines, and the cabinets are in a shiny metal even, it doesn't even matter because they're shiny and glossy, and everything you have sitting out on the countertop is shiny and glossy. your kitchen's going to feel a lot colder than it would if you put in some warm cookbooks, some warm wood cutting boards. I know I'm getting myself all excited. How about a rustic planter? Ooh, maybe have some basil or some thyme overflowing out of it. Maybe you want to add in, right, a matte black KitchenAid rather than going for the glossy one. Go for the matte. Think about your artwork as well. Think about in the living room, the different textures you can add in the same way, right? If it's all glossy, it's gonna feel unapproachable and therefore not as cozy. You want a space that makes you feel like you can relax in it, right? That's what cozy is gonna make us do. So avoid doing all shiny. I'm not saying no shiny, because I read your comments and you guys are like, how about that lamp you sold me last month that was made of glass? No. Don't get rid of that. Oh my God, I'm so excited you bought that one. Keep the glass vases, but also add in some books. Also add in some wicker baskets. Also add in the pine cones. Add in a rustic vase, something that's got texture to it. I hope that, well, I don't know about you, but I am looking so forward to upping the cozy factor even in my own home. I'm like, I need to add some more wood. I think I'm gonna go bake some cookies. I actually made fresh focaccia last night and I've got that sitting on the counter and my mouth is slightly watering just thinking about it. I'm like, ooh. And you know, making beautiful food and pastas. I cannot wait to make pasta tonight and have some focaccia. These are the things that really make your house a home. And as a designer, for me as a designer, the way I've always approached it was never just about the way it looked. It can be so hard as a designer to get very focused on trying to make it pretty, but for me, it's always about lush furniture that you sink down into, being in a space where you can grab a blanket and just stay a while. It's all of these things. They're so important and they really just make your space, and they make even a modern home feel cozy. So I hope I've left you feeling super inspired and that you'll want to hit subscribe. Let me know if you want even more about cozy factor. Let me know what kind of home you have, what your struggles are. Let me know down in the comments and we'll make a video just for you. Just for you. But I love you guys and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Until then, cheers. Bye for now.